They love the idea of Mayor Pete as their identity politics candidate being a gay guy. This is the Modern Family, the candidate, right? And when you listen to this little snippet of an interview, Daily Caller reporter catches Mayor Pete out walking in the street, and he will basically not interact with her, and then he ends the interview by saying that he needs to take a photo of her, which is super creepy, strange behavior. I want to make sure that I get her name right, and I'll give you her name, but first I want to play this audio for you.
What do you have to say to the folks in Ohio, East Palestine, who are suffering right now?
Well, I've referred about a dozen interviews I've given today, and she'd like to arrange a conversation. I'm going to reach out to her brother and have that conversation with you. I do, and I've spoken with the press many times today. I'd refer you to those comments.
Are you going to share it with us?
No, I'm going to refer you to the comments that I made to the press because right now I'm taking some personal time and I want to be honest with you.
Are you going down there?
What's that?
Are you going down there at all?
Yes, ma'am.
When are you going?
I'll share that when I'm ready.
Thank you.
Can I get a photo?
Yeah.
Can I get a photo of you, he asked there at the end, Buck. And by the way, that reporter's name, Jenny Tare. Good job, Daily Caller. When you hear this, your reaction is what?
Well, she's being entirely respectful. Because look, we're consistent, right? You don't have to give interviews to anybody. That's the reality. And if we're saying our side shouldn't just keep showing up. If NBC News keep punching me in the face, no. It's fine for Pete Buttigieg if he doesn't want to stop and do a stop and talk or a kind of on-the-fly interview. That's fine. But she's being there's nothing in her questioning that is out of bounds or unfair. Why did he ask for a photo of her, though, at the end? What do you make of that? What was that all about?
It's such a good question. Why he was asking of the photo, because I think that turned what was otherwise kind of a clear attempt to avoid talking to the press as he's walking it felt like a threat to me. Or he's taking that photo to send to someone in his office and say, who is this person? Let's make sure there are consequences for this behavior. That's what it felt like to me.
Yeah, for sure. Do you remember when Jim Acosta lost his hard pass to the White House?
Yeah.
I think it was a day or two. And the journalists of America were the weeping and the gnashing of teeth, the rending of garments in the streets. Oh my God, Jim Acosta had to check in like a peasant at the White House visitors kiosk. Oh my gosh, he didn't get to waltz in like the other one. I mean, it's amazing, isn't it?
I also don't feel bad. I understand in general, if you're a public figure, you may not want to be interviewed wherever you're going. But in this particular situation, where many in the media are totally avoiding ever asking Mayor Pete about East Palestine in general, and there is basically nothing that's being done on behalf of these people, I actually think Jenny Tare at the Daily Caller is doing the work that journalists are supposed to do, which is hold people in positions of power accountable for not taking care of constituents that don't have the same power, right? That's what we want objectively journalists to do, is get information and hold people accountable for ignoring the people that you represent.
Well, also, any attention that is paid to the people of East Palestine is inherently problematic for the Biden administration, because Biden's real state elite, they're not looking at this issue. This doesn't get high on their radar. There's no virtue signaling points for them. They're not, putting up some kind of a symbol of solidarity all over the place on their Facebook profiles. There's no black square. There's no Ukraine ribbon or Ukraine flag or whatever. So they're not interested in this in any meaningful way politically, and that's why reminding everybody about, I think, is important. Why is it? I mean, we have an administration that prattles on endlessly about the environment, and we need to, we need to do more environmental stuff, and we need to get rid of the CO2 in the air. Okay, if you're so worried about CO2 emissions, shouldn't you be more worried about a massive hazardous waste explosion in an area? What do they really know about this, and what are they really telling us? Also, they don't have the right to say, trust us. No, we don't trust them. I mean, these are the same people that we think are shooting balloons out of the sky thinking they're UFOs.
Well, I think it's one of the unfortunate legacies of there being no consequences.
Farming and
then I find out that you were wrong about all that. Like you and me, who don't have advanced medical degrees, we aren't epidemiologists, but we're just smart enough, and there are a lot of people out there who are the same way. The data and analyze risk on behalf of ourselves and our families, and we made rational, reasonable decisions, and we shared all those with this huge audience of millions of people. I'm sorry, when you have shown me that you are unworthy of trust on COVID, it pollutes every single opinion you have. When Biden told me if I didn't get the COVID shot, it was going to be a winter of death, and I was responsible for that, and then it wasn't true, then why would I ever believe him on anything? They showed us beyond a reasonable doubt that they care much more about politics than about our actual health. They care much more about power than whether or not people are safe. We still have not had a full accounting for all the excess deaths that have occurred. I don't even have the deaths of despair, and forget about it for a second, the vaccine process. I'm just saying all the people who were liberated and lives destroyed because of lockdowns that were insane, because of policies that were depressing. See this on the airline. All the people getting into fistfights because they were wearing masks, which was idiotic. It was beyond belief. It was completely absurd. And now they're going to tell us, don't worry about it. We've got this. This toxic, it's not toxic waste, but this hazardous waste spill is something that we can trust them to be honest about with the American people. I not only do I not trust them to be honest, I don't think they're competent enough to handle it, and I don't think that they should get the benefit of the doubt on either one of them. I think that's right. I think that's one of the legacies of COVID is that erosion of trust.
Do you not see a car?
Worth mentioning, 75 to 80% of all airline complaints have vanished since the mask mandates disappeared.
The car coming.
So all those unruly passengers that everybody was focused on, by and large, eliminating masks did away with 75 to 80% of all the issues. Tunnel to Towers Foundation is building its Let Us Do Good Village in Land O'Lakes, Florida. It's right outside Tampa, first of its kind, 100 homes in the first phase of construction, and they have been given to program recipients there. Gold Star family, the Thorntons, were first to move in. The widow, Danielle, and her children, Jalen and Kinsley, after the death of their husband, father, Robert, U.S. Army Sergeant Danielle calls the home a blessing. In the Let Us Do Good Village, Gold Star families of fallen first responders and severely injured first responders and service members, their neighbors, heroes and families of heroes live in one community so they can help one another heal. Children grow up together and support one another. And with every mortgage-free home, the foundation makes good on its promise to do good and never forget the sacrifices our nation's greatest heroes have made for our country and our communities. Make the Let Us Do Good Village the first of many communities like it. Join both of us, Buck and myself, in donating $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org. That's T, the number 2, T.org. Learn and laugh weekdays with Clay Travis and Buck Sexton. KFBK, Sacramento's news radio, everywhere on iHeartRadio. You don't get stuff you can count on big business to have your back. Well, no, you can't actually, because we all know big business, especially big wireless business, is going to lock you down into multi-year contracts with huge penalties if you want to leave. Not Pure Talk, the no-contract wireless company, and the only wireless company to offer.
Yeah. Nice nose ring, I like that. Sky answering. Nope. Will not play that game at all whatsoever.